And we're recording. All right, everybody. I'm here with my friend and mentor, Todd Durkin, today. Todd, man, thanks for doing this. Todd has been my mentor for a few years now. He was my mentor before he even knew he was my mentor because I was going to conferences to see him and I was reading his book and just checking Todd out. But now that he's been my mentor, every year he gives me a roadmap. And that roadmap is, here's 125 questions to dive deep. The first time I saw it, I was like, whoa, this is deep. And every year I do it, and every year it helps me to shape the best year of my life, to really identify those things that are going to make this next year even better than last year. And I was searching, and I was trying to condense, and I was like, how can I give this to my team? How can I give this to my members? And so I reached out to Todd via text, and I'm like, Todd, is there a way that you could hop on a call with me, and maybe you being the guru, you being the guy with the roadmap, could condense it down in a way to where we can all have the best year of our life heading into 2017. So Todd, if there were, I know Fitness Quest 10, 10 is your number, it's 10 and then some, is there those questions that maybe you can help our members, our team to dive deep into what they need to do to make next year the best year of their life?
Well, thank you, Travis, and Merry Christmas to you, and Happy Hanukkah to your team back there and all the members. Happy holidays. It's great to join you guys. One of my highlights in 2016 was coming to see you guys back there in New York and just the energy in that room that day. I'm not sure exactly who's watching this right now, but if you were there, thank you again for your energy and your spirit. It was awesome, and I hear about you guys all the time from Travis. He's always bragging about you guys, the team and the members, and it was certainly a highlight of my 2016. So thanks for having me out again, Travis.
It's actually going to be on this highlight reel, Todd. I'll be sending out a PowerPoint with this video that shows that's one of our highlights too. So thank you.
Wow. Thank you. One of my best practices for the last 9 years has just been to really go deep on my annual roadmap and strategic plan. I believe that really sitting down and spending time on you is really important. And whether you're a trainer, a fitness professional at Journey, or you're a member at Journey Fitness, taking the time over the next couple of weeks is so critical. And I always start in reflection of the past year. And, even though if it was a great year for you or it wasn't, I always find there's a lot of lessons that we learn when you actually stop and reflect. And one of my themes right now is slow down, simplify, relax, breathe, and work out. That's like a theme I'm living on. Like the next 2 weeks is literally slowing down and simplifying and breathing and relaxing and enjoying the moments, and of course working out. And of course, my time on the annual roadmap. When you asked me, can I take my 100+ questions I normally do and bring it down to 10, I was like, oh, no problem. And when I actually tried to do it, I was like, this is a hard exercise. I feel every question is so important. But if we're to boil down to a few, if you guys want to take notes here, get out pens and paper and you can write notes, you can type it up. The magic is not so much in my questions. Really, the magic is in your answers, right? And sometimes just the question prompts you to think about something, and you turn off this recording, you pause it because you can do that. That's the beauty about it. And you actually just spend 5-10 minutes or more on each of the questions. And if I give you 10 or so questions and you take an hour, even 2 over the next week, I promise you, you will be more centered and balanced. You will be more aware exactly right now. You'll be more present with the people around you. And you should also be more inspired and empowered for what's about to come in 2017, because you should get emotional about it. Maybe the list is laughing, maybe some smiling, and maybe even some crying. But when you go deep on yourself, I find that it's just so motivating and empowering to do that. And that's what excites me about right now in this season. When you get spiritual, you get emotional, and you realize, the reason for the season, part of it is in reflection and looking forward as well. So, Travis, if you'd like, I'll share some of those questions I have right now.
That would be awesome. Thank you.
Cool. So hopefully you had time to get out your pens and notebooks. You could sit up nice and tall, booty's back, and your core is nice and strong from all the work that the Journey Fitness team has done with you. But the first thing I would do if you want to number your paper is I always start off, and number 1 is gratitude. A look back as 2016 draws to a close. Who and what in your life are you most grateful for? What are you most grateful for? A lot of times we start off with the what, and we often forget about the who. So by writing down who is in your life, it's always about who's in your life. And you could put down what's in your life too. But what in the past year are you most grateful for? And you could start off with, I am most grateful for. Now, this is a daily practice for me because if you're busy and you're always, having a to-do list and things to go on, it's easy to always think, what's next, what's next, what's next? When you actually can stop long enough and be grateful and look at your calendar. By the way, I'm an old school guy. Right, I am literally an old school guy. I got an old notebook. Like I still write hand. Like I'm not on my PDA all the time. And I look back through this each and every week, and I look about the meetings I've had and the conferences I've been to, the events I've been to. I was back with you guys at Journey Fitness, and I reflect upon what I'm grateful for and who I'm grateful for on that. So spend time on the gratitude aspect in number one. And number two, I would share with you is what were a few of your best practices in 2016 that allowed you to achieve the successes you had in 2016? So look at best practices. What were your best practices in 2016? For example, what were you disciplined about? What habits did you practice that allowed you to create success? What similar disciplines do you need to practice in 2017 that will help you to create additional success and, more importantly, significance in 2017? Because we're always looking for meaning in our life, right? And it's not so much just about what we do or the money you may make or not make. It's really about the significance you feel, because when you give back and you make a difference in other people's lives, it's always about that feeling, that emotion that makes you feel so grateful for that. So number two is that look at your best practices and write those down, because your best practices will allow you to achieve more success in 2017. Number three, what were your top lessons learned and reinforced in 2016? So you have your best practices as number two. Number three, what were some of your top lessons? And that's when I look back and I think about all of the events and the things at Fitness Quest 10 in my gym, in my life, and personally and family. What were the things I learned? As a matter of fact, as I go throughout the year, in one of my columns, I'll write some of the lessons of that. And maybe I need to be more aware when I'm with my kids sometimes, or some of the best practices, not being on the phone or having my phone at the kitchen table at breakfast or dinner when I'm home. These are all lessons reinforced or learned in 2016. And I typically have a laundry list of those as well. So that's all important in number three, top lessons learned and reinforced in 2016. And number four is we'll put 2016 to bed in those top few questions. Number four, now we're getting into 2017, framing up your best year yet. Framing up your best year yet. And I want you guys to think about, in a new year, when you say Happy New Year, like really mean that. Like, what are you going to do, and what are we going to do collectively as a family, as a community at Journey Fitness to create a great year, a significant year, and make a difference in your respective community? Now, you have several locations in different communities, but what can you do to make a difference? And when you're framing up your best year yet, I always love to start with in question number four for you, if you were to write these down and follow the order of my my top 10 of the 100 and something. What are your big five for 2017? And your big five are, if there's 5 things that you would like to accomplish in 2017 to make this the best year of your life, what is it that you're going to do? What is it you're going to create? Who is it you're going to spend time with? Are there certain trips or adventures you're going to take? How about your physical health? I mean, what kind of things do you want to do with your health? I mean, is it you want to lose a certain amount of body fat, or you want to improve your nutrition, or you just want to improve your vitality and recovery and feel better because you're constantly in pain or sore? Like, if you're to frame those things up, these are the 5 things that you really want to do in 2017, so that when you look back in another year from now, you can say, hey, I accomplished all 5, or I accomplished these 3. And these things are the ones that are going to most move your needle, both professionally and or personally as well. So your big 5 for 2017 is critical. And feel free, Travis, anytime you want to hop in, let me know. Otherwise, I'll just keep rolling, because I get on a roll.
I'm loving it. I got my notebook right here, and I'm just taking notes right along with you. So it's good. It's great.
Cool. Well, then the next one, number 5, is maybe my favorite because it's your BHAG. What's your BHAG for 2017? Your BHAG is your big, hairy, audacious goal. That's what's going to happen. You know, if all the stars align, this is your BHAG. Many of you saw Strong in 2016. That was a BHAG of mine for a long time, and it never came true. It was a BHAG of mine for years and years. Every year, I'd have that in my annual roadmap, and it would never happen. And finally, it happened. And I believe sometimes when you put it on paper and you look at your roadmap here, you look at your 10 or 15 questions that you write down for yourself. When you look at it and you surround yourself with the right people, you train with the right people, they inspire you, they empower you, and your energies align with the universe, and you're spending time in prayer. When it's supposed to happen, and it happens. And for me, Strong was that in 2016, and right now I'm setting my BHAG for 2017. Stay tuned. But the big thing is dream big. Dream big. And don't be afraid to put it on paper. Because if you're afraid to put it on paper, then it's less likely to occur. What gets written gets done. And when you have a written intention, living with intentionality helps that come to reality. So live with intentionality, and it will help become a reality. And number 5 is that BHAG. And number 6, closely related, is what is your theme? What's your theme for 2017? I love having a theme. And, you know, over the 9-10 years, I've been having themes of my year. 2010, year of impact. I've had transformation. I've had a year of wow. Is this year coming up? Is 2017 will be my year of wow. But transformation, energy, happiness, creativity, overcoming, whatever your year is, whatever the energy is, you're like, this is my year. I've got to do what? This is your theme. And I believe when you live with your theme, when you're making decisions on a regular daily basis, then you're more likely to say, okay, what can I do to create more wow in my life, personally and professionally? Or what can I do to create more impact in my life? So whatever that theme is, you constantly come back to that one word or short phrase of words on that, and great things will happen on that. 2016 was my year was strong. That was my theme. So what am I going to do to be strong this year, physically, mentally, and spiritually? And every decision I made was, is this going to help me become stronger, or is it going to make me weaker? And those choices I had to make, hopefully I was making the decisions that would make it a stronger year. So in question number 6 is, what is your theme? So number 7, let me get a little bit more 10,000 foot level, because I talked about the big 5 for your year, talked about theme in your year. And to get a little esoteric on you, to think to the big level, but this is where you get into dreamland. You have to have a purpose to your life. And to me, you know, when you look at your life, regardless of you're 25, you're 55, you're 75 watching this, you've got to know what your big 5 for life is. Now, this is critical because many times if you've never done this exercise, it's hard to put down 5 things that are most important in your life. But at the end of your days, and whether that be this year, 2017, next year, or in 25 or 50 years from now, whenever it may be, these are the 5 things that you must accomplish in your lifetime. Now, Travis, I know for you, I share all of my answers to the 100+ questions with you. You know what mine are. When you share them with me and I share them with you, you understand me better. You understand what makes me tick. When you share them with me, I understand what makes you tick. And what I would ask your Journey Fitness friends to do is to share with one another, share with your coaches, your teammates, share with each other, because you share the same classes at 6 a.m. or 6 p.m., but they don't always know what makes you tick. And if you have the courage and the audacity to share some of these answers with some of your colleagues and comrades, now you understand, hey, this is what I'm working for. I want to be the best mom or dad that I can be. I need to improve this area of my life. When it comes to, you know, big 5 for life, if you have adventure in there, here's a couple of the trips that I want to take and make in my life. In your career, regardless of what you do for an occupation, here's how I want to be remembered in my career on that. So I would really encourage you to spend 15, 20 minutes thinking and praying and journaling about your life. What is it I want to be remembered for? And the most important thing about this is because when you define what that is, and you reverse engineer your life backwards to the day you are at today, you can make decisions and say yes or no based on where you want your life to go. And that's a really important aspect. And if you've never been asked that question before, it's one of my driving mantras and themes of, is this going to help me fulfill my purpose in life and define, it's going to help me fulfill that tombstone statement that we talk about. So what are your big 5 for life is number 7. And I think
thank you for opening up that door right there that you just opened, because I think that really is the overarching goal. Last year you challenged me with theme, and I wanted to get dialed in, so we added things like My Zone so we could tell our members how many calories they burned during a workout and challenge them to put forth more effort. We added in Body Evolver so we could print before and after avatars. And we wanted to be more dialed into our members, and we'll continue to dial in. But this year I already know that my theme is happiness. I read a great book by Tony Hsieh, Delivering Happiness, last year, and I was like, ultimately happiness is just this, that we identify our goal and we make progress towards that goal. So the whole purpose of this that you just opened up, which is to get our members to share that. We're putting up New Year's resolution boards. We want kind of a Robin Sharma effect. We want some public pressure, a little positive pressure there. Put your resolution up on the board. But most importantly, like you just said, share with one another, share with your coaches. Let's have some accountability in this process to getting happier, to, achieving that life that we want. So, thank you for opening that up. And I want to confirm Todd's invitation right there to share with your coaches, because that is the goal of this week's recording, this PowerPoint, everything.
Right.
Thank you.
And if nothing else, and if you guys don't want to do that, you're like, oh, I don't want to do it, at least share your answers with your spouse or your family or significant others. Because if my sons or daughter don't know what dad's purpose is, they won't understand why I travel 40 plus times a year. They won't understand why I'm in the office on the weekend sometimes and I'm writing. If I don't share that with my spouse, she won't understand my mentality sometimes. That seems a little crazy. But when you share your answers, then they can understand. And a lot of times when it comes to relationship, communication plays a major role. And if you can take some of these questions, even as a young child, my kids are 14, 11, and 8, and do some of these questions and at least talk about that. Maybe at Journey Fitness, maybe you want to do that, maybe you don't. Maybe you want to reach out and meet at a coffee shop on from 12 to 2 on a Sunday in mid-January to discuss some of your answers very informally. And you don't need Travis or any of the coaches to do that. It could be 2, 3, or 4 of you and say, hey, let's go over some of your answers. And then you have a support system. Mm-hmm. When you have a support system, let me tell you what, the reason why Travis has a different theme that he does this year than last year, and that when I have a different theme this year than last year, is because life is a journey. Mm-hmm. And it goes up and down. It goes up and down. We are going to have trials in 2017. Even when we have a roadmap to success, there's going to be trials and tribulations that will ultimately challenge you. And if you don't have it on paper, then you can't be ramped up and prepared for those when those happen. At the end of the day, all human beings are searching for happiness and harmony at the end of the day. On your deathbed, you're not going to wish you worked more or you made more money. You're going to wish you had more happiness and harmony. So when you look at here on that, regardless of your type of work, and I'm grateful that I'm a trainer and coach, are you making a difference and are you significant in other people's lives? And when you do that, I believe you find more happiness and harmony. But happiness and harmony starts on the inside. And no one person can determine your happiness and harmony because you have to do that on the inside. So regardless of what your theme is, and I love your theme, Travis, I didn't know that before you sharing it today, is just keep continuing working on yourself. And one of the reasons why you guys work so darn hard at working out, like myself, like Travis, and the Journey Fitness professional team there, is because when you train hard and you eat right and you live inspired, then you're more likely to find happiness and harmony in your relationships, in all the people you deal with at your work, and so forth. So in question number 7 is all about that, your big 5 for life. And I also want to tie to that, and you can make it a part B, is just what's your purpose in life. Just it could be one sentence: to inspire millions of people to greatness and create impact every day. That's my purpose. I know that. That's my tombstone statement. So when you know that purpose, it's tied to your life. You know what your purpose, and when it's 4:30 in the morning, it's freezing cold out, you don't feel like putting your shoes on because it's snowing there in New York. It's like, man, I'd rather stay in this warm bed. If you have a driving purpose, you're more likely to get out of bed. And when you have a coach sitting there waiting for you and you know you got your comrades going to be sweating along with you, you're going to be more prepared for that, and great things are going to happen. So think about your purpose and spend time on that also. Travis, any questions on that? Are you good?
You know, I'm having thoughts, but, you know, I love Robin Sharma because you introduced me to him. And, you know, I love that quote from the monk who sold his Ferrari where he says, the purpose of life is a life of purpose. That used to escape me so much. Purpose. What's that mean? I got to like find this big, huge purpose. You just got to find that love that was inside you when you were younger, that, you know, you love to draw. I mean, maybe your goal is just to bless people with your paintings or your photography or your time or your service or whatever. And it's just so good to just kind of find out what we're passionate about and realize that you don't have to have the same purpose as like Mother Teresa in order to really have a purpose. You just have to find that passion. We're all created with something in our heart, and just connecting with that. I love his quote: "The purpose of life is a life of life of purpose." And it's just got my head spinning right now when you're talking. So yeah, keep going.
Number eight, and this is going to help those of you that sometimes feel overwhelmed by life. You know, you've got a lot on your plate. You're taking the kids all over. You got practices. You're trying to work out, 4 or 5 days a week. And, you come up and sometimes it's only 1 or 2 or 3 and you're just overwhelmed. I want you to think about, in question number 8 here, write down your top 5 roles that you're great at and you most enjoy doing. What are the 5 roles or titles that you wear that you're great at and you most enjoy doing? So when you write those down, then sometimes that means you need to eliminate some things that you are not good at or don't enjoy doing. It's closely aligned with what makes your soul sing. Like, what are you most happy doing? Do more of those things. If there's things that you don't love doing, do less of those things. Does it mean you need to eliminate them? Well, sometimes you can't, but you can spend more time doing the things that you love to do. So when I define that for me personally, I know I love to write. I love to speak. So when I'm on the road, I'm doing a motivational talk or something like that. I love the speaking aspect. I love training. When I'm training people in the trenches here at Fitness Quest 10 or out of conference, I love the training component, and it moves my soul. I love family time. So when I'm with my kids and with my spouse, I love that family time as well. And that's number 4. And number 5 is leading. I love leadership. I love leading my team. I love leading within the fitness industry. I love leadership. I love studying great leaders. So out of those 5 roles and titles that I wear, when opportunities come up or things come up in a day or a week or a month or over the course of my year, the things that are going to relate to those 5, I'm going to spend more time doing those things. And if there are things I'm doing in my time that aren't necessarily related to spending time with my family or speaking or writing, I'm going to say less, because then I'm doing things I don't love to do. And I'll say, like, man, I'm just not happy in life. I'm just going through the paces, but I don't find my soul singing. Well, when you spend time on doing the things you love to do, your energy will be vibrant. People are like, man, your energy's off the hook. How do you do that? Well, you're spending the time early morning on nurturing the spirit, and then you're spending time throughout the day doing more of the things. Is it ever a perfect utopia? No, I understand that. But if you consciously choose to spend more time with the people that you enjoy being around and be the positive light, don't be the energy vampire that steals positivity out of a room. That's why I shared back this summer with you about being a positive lighthouse and being a beacon of light at Journey Fitness. And whether you're a member, you're a guest, a teammate, every single one of us, me included, has the ability to either give light and give positivity or suck energy and suck light. Don't be a sucker. Be an igniter. Be that person that's going to make a difference, because it really is important in that. So number 8 is about the roles and titles that you wear in life. And when you do more of the things you love to do, your soul will be singing, and everyone wants to find happiness in their life. Number 9, I'll preface it this way. And there's a 2-part question. 3 ways you can be better. So part A, what are 3 ways you can be a better spouse? I can hear you thinking, how can my spouse be better to me? No, the question is, what are 3 ways you can be a better spouse? It's easy to always say, man, if he or she would change, this, then I'll be happy, our relationship would be better. No, what I put down here is, what are 3 ways you can be a better spouse? So if I can say, how can I be a better spouse and better serve my wife of 16 years, my relationship will be healthier and happier if I do that. And if she goes through the same exercise, which she does, and does that, then our relationship will be stronger. Is it ever perfect? No, there's no such thing as perfect, but it's healthier and the communication is stronger. So part A is how you could be a better spouse. And if you are a parent of kids, what are 3 ways you could be a better parent? What are 3 ways you could be a better parent on that? And if you're a son or daughter, what I would ask, and you're not a parent, is what are 3 ways you could be a better son or daughter to your family as well and help out mom and dad because of the roles they wear? So I always look at being better. And you've heard me say be 1% better, 1% better, 1% better. But in question 9, what are 3 ways you could be a better spouse? And in part B, a better spouse, and part B, a better parent or a better son or daughter. I think, great things could happen there as well. So number 9, write that out because it's deep. And if you do those things and work onto those things, I believe that you'll be happier in your relationships. And the last one, number 10, it deals with your personal health and your performance and your peak productivity, right? Because your productivity and your health all relates to your energy. And we all want more vibrant and radiant energy. And I have a couple things I want you to write down. And you can just use these right now as ticklers as you write down to comment in paragraph form about your sleep, about your workout routine, about your nutrition. And if you were to write down on those things about your routine, on your sleep, your workout routine, and your nutrition, for example, what I write down for me, and you can just write down how you could be better at this, is how much sleep do you average per week currently? How much sleep do you need to get per night? What time are you currently going to bed and waking up? But what time do you need to go to bed? And what time do you need to wake up to feel your best? Because you know your body best. Adhere to the best practices at sleep. With your workout routine, what's working for you in your workout routine? What's not working for you in your workout routine? Whose class do you love attending at Journey Fitness, right? Who do you love surrounding yourself with at Journey Fitness and training next to, because they have the positive word every now and then that they say, look over and say, man, I love when you're pushing like that. Keep up the great work. Are you being that person that's always encouraging, or who are the people that are encouraging you and being the cheerleader? If there's something physically that you need to work on in 2017, your flexibility, your mobility, your recovery, your supplementation, what is it that you need to do? If you're an athlete or you want to do a Spartan run, or you want to improve your mile time, setting some goals right now is a great thing for your own physical routine. And then, of course, nutritionally, what is it about your nutrition that you could change and improve? Maybe there's a few things you need to eliminate. Maybe it's sugars, carbohydrates that are, white, it's processed food, or it's white starchy foods that are robbing you of energy, and you're feeling sluggish and dilapidated. So maybe you need to improve your lean protein. Maybe you need to improve your healthy fats that you're consuming in your diet, because that's going to satiate your cravings, because you're always craving sugar, right? So all of these things make a difference. If you do and use supplements, what supplements do you use and which ones do you feel best? And instead of me advising you, I'll turn over to the Journey Fitness professionals there, because all of them are schooled from Travis on down, on what are the things that you're using or could use potentially to augment your nutrition. Supplements never take the place of good nutrition, and good nutrition's hard. But in 2017, if you want healthier, stronger energy, you're going to have to sleep better. You're going to have to eat better. You're going to have to train harder and really adhere more to your exercise. So, Travis, those are my 10. And 10, is my favorite number. That's why I end with the physical conditioning, the peak productivity, and your performance, because it always comes down to your conditioning, spiritually, physically, and mentally. What are you doing to be better in 2017?
Love it. Love it. I love it too. You were asking, and I got convicted, like how many hours of sleep do you need to get a night? I mean, when we opened up Sarah, I'd wake up at 2:15 in the morning to get down there at 3:45. It's a little bit of a trip. And, I knew when you asked that question, am I getting the right amount of sleep? So just remind me of another question you put in the roadmap before, that is, what is your ideal day? And, like if that ideal day of, going to bed and getting a certain number of hours isn't happening right now, what's that one thing you need to do to create your ideal day, to create your ideal life, So, if you're convicted by those questions, there's opportunity for change. It doesn't mean that, you're just not, okay, well, I'm not getting the right amount of sleep, so, chalk that up. What are you going to do about it? I guess is my question, So I'm challenging myself right now. Maybe I'm challenging somebody else who's listening later,
Well, yeah, it's a good point. And what I would say is this, guys, don't beat yourself up if you don't always attain your goal. Like, it's okay. The reason we have goals is to strive toward the goal. So one of the things I do about my sleep, Travis, is I know I'm not always going to get 7 hours, but I have in my practice here is that I want to at least 4 nights a week get 7 hours. I know I'm my best when I'm at 7 hours, but I know I'm not always going to get that. One of my other goals is I never want to get less than 4 hours sleep. I stink on less than 4 hours sleep. Yeah. So, there's a couple nights I'm only going to get 5 or 6 hours. So I actually plan for that. So that if I only get 5 hours because I'm writing another book or working on a big project, I'm trying to change the world. Even though I'm motivated and energized from that, I know ultimately from a health standpoint, I want to get my sleep. I need to get my sleep. So I'll say, okay, 2 days a week, I can get between, 5 and 6 hours of sleep. So when a certain time hits, I know I've got to go to bed because that's going to set the whole day in motion the following day. Success the next day happens, it starts the night before. So all of that bedtime routine is important about not only what time you go to bed, but also disconnecting. For me, one of my other rules is disconnecting with technology 30 minutes prior to going to bed so I can relax my mind. I'm not always in the blue light with computers and phones and Instagramming and Facebook and all that in bed. I don't do that. It's not a healthy practice. So I try to either read inspirational material, making sure I can get my mind right, going to bed and I can relax, or just completely no TV, no computers, things like that. 30 minutes prior to going to bed, I'll hydrate up really good and I'll wake up feeling refreshed if I do that.
Yeah, that's good advice right there. You know what I've been reading lately, Todd, and I think it's a perfect time to mention that. You told me last year, you said, answer the questions on the roadmap and then put it in a nice binder where you can refer to it throughout the year. So I think it's a good way to just kind of close this out, is to say, once you answer these questions, it will be a handout this week. You can put it in something nice like this and keep on referring back to it, because we were talking about the difference between a wish and a goal. A goal is something written down. A wish is just something just thought of and just left alone. And, we're talking about writing things down right now and then referring back to them and making them happen, maybe even with the help of your coaches or fellow Journey Fitness team members. So, this has been my reading lately. And then I finally had to reach out to the guru and say, okay, guru, tell me how we're going to get this broke down to 10 or 12 questions for our Journey Fitness family. So thank you, Todd. Thank you.
Well, Travis, you're welcome. And the key, like I said, is even though I spent a lot of time on those questions, the magic is in your answers.
Yes.
The magic is sitting down for an hour or two or more. I'll spend 10 to 15 hours over the next few weeks really just diving in deep, and I'll laugh some, I'll cry some. I want to get emotional. I want to kind of feel like my emotions stirring, like then I know I'm on the right path. And sometimes that takes 2 or 3 hours to get into that thing, and I'll put a little music on. I'll kind of get lost in time. The key is not just doing them and putting them down. It is to refer back to them throughout the year. There will be times when you're going to have to fortify your mind and your body and your spirit because you're feeling whooped, you're feeling defeated, you're feeling beat. Trust me, it happens to everyone. That is the time you need to reach out. Don't close in, but it is to reach out, to read your purpose in life, to read your life sentence, to read your big 5 for life, to reach out and say, man, I'm struggling. And any of you out of Journey Fitness, if you're struggling today, this week, I was talking to a client earlier today who lost her mother earlier this year. She's been struggling. She's been beating herself up. She doesn't have her mom anymore. She has some health conditions on that stuff, and she was really, really struggling. And I had to, get her mind right and remind her, like, hey, when we go through adversity, we go through tough times. It's nothing more than sharpening your sword so you can use your purpose. And we talk about, everyone has a life worth telling a story about. Is part of you is spending time on you, investing in you, and taking an hour out or 2 hours out over the next week or two for you is one of the most healthy things that you can do. Do it after you work out. get workout, go get a nice, good, healthy meal, and spend an hour or two, and whether it be in the morning, afternoon, or evening. The bottom line is that you work on you. When you work on you, you're really going to help frame up the start of a great new 2017.
Yeah. And believe it, you have coaches right here at Journey Fitness. I know that's one of my big goals in the upcoming years, just to meet with our team and meet with our members more often, just to see, because I know that that's ultimately where I'm happy. I'm happy when I'm helping other people. That's why I got into this profession to begin with. And so I know it's going to lead to my happiness, and I hope it will lead to others too. So thank you, Todd, for your time today doing this. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, no, Travis, thank you for what you're doing back there and your team. You have such an incredible team, and team, just speaking to you right now, as a reminder, the team and the family, all you guys, man, when you're giving positive energy, and all you community back there, Journey Fitness, there's no one title: trainer, coach, member, client, guest. You come in, you're one big family, and to share authentically with each other. When you reach out, some of my best messages come when I'm being challenged, when I'm struggling through something, or I get a bad email, or I get adversity. Like, that comes with the messaging. So please, out there, over sometimes a difficult holiday season, despite a joyous time, sometimes there's internal struggles going on. I implore you to reach out to someone within your community there at Journey Fitness, or to a trainer or a coach, and just share, because that's where the magic is found. When you share, you're like, oh my gosh, I know someone going through the same thing. I know someone that's being challenged the same way. And then all of a sudden you feel like, okay, I'm not alone. I'm not alone on this, and it becomes a team thing, and you get through the tough times as well. So I wish all of you a very happy holiday season. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and man, just make 2017 a great year. And I believe it, if you spend time on these 10 plus questions and go through these, great things will happen. You've got a great community back there with Travis, Cindy, Destiny, the entire Barnes family, all of the trainers and coaches, the Journey Fitness team. Each and every one of you are important. And I would encourage you then over the next month, go get a guest. Go get someone at your work that's struggling. Say, come work out with me. Come work out. Let's sweat together. And watch how it changes that relationship. Go get a coffee together afterwards. You work out. Go get a bite to eat together, whatever. And you realize all of a sudden, like, you feel better. You feel more revitalized and rejuvenated. And it changes everything. Everything. So never diminish the power of spending time with people that are precious in your life. Because 2017, you never know. If it was the last one, what are you going to do to make 2017 your best year yet?
That's awesome. Thank you, Todd. Thank you, Todd. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Thank you.
Merry Christmas. Guys, Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Have a great time back there. Bundle up. Stay warm. I know it's chilly. Best way to do that, get into Journey Fitness and keep busting your tails.
That's right.